I started to think a lot about my beauty purchasing habits. I'd read a blog by Val Monroe, who used to be Oprah Winfrey's beauty editor at O Magazine, where she writes about aging in the beauty sphere. And she got me thinking with her question about when you look in the mirror and you're ultimately driven to buy beauty products, ask yourself, what is it that I really want right now? So I went down a rabbit hole of my own choices and the reasons as to why I bought them. And in some cases, it was obvious, but in others, who did I want to be? Who did I think I was? I mean, the beauty culture has definitely influenced me. It's everywhere with so many big promises. The beauty standard, the beautiful people, the fantasy, and the escapism that it provides is really alluring. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to bash it here. I love my beauty products, and I always will. But in this video, I come to some conclusions in my attempt to answer the question, what is it that I really want? So I started to look at everything that I owned. I took everything apart and really started to assess it. Oh boy. And then, my friends, there was the closet. I'm embarrassed for you to see it, but I just want to keep it real. It had to be done. An intervention was necessary. And I found a lot of interesting things here. So let's get into it. We're in my guest bathroom. That's why it sounds a little echoey, because I don't really do much in here, and I'm waiting to get it overhauled and painted and stuff like that. But for now, it's my beauty closet. It's like my big beauty bathroom. And I'm embarrassed to say that, but that's the truth. And all of this here, I'm crouching, I'm sitting on this little stool because I really wanted you to see like everything that I've pulled out and just put on this vanity that it's just not who I am anymore. And honestly, I don't even know if it ever was. It's been really fascinating for me to kind of look through these things and wonder like, what was I thinking? Like, I am not a patient person when it comes to getting dressed in the morning and putting makeup on. I'm not that girl. My routine in the morning takes me, this is like every day, it takes me about 5 minutes. So it's been really interesting that I've accumulated all this stuff that requires lots of time. And it's been fascinating, but I'm not this person anymore. And I've been needing to clean out my space because it's been really overwhelming. And this weekend was the time to do it. So I feel really good, but it's also been fascinating. It's been hilarious. And so I thought I would share some of the things that I came across and just what was I thinking? I've purged, and now I thought I would go through a couple of things that I pulled aside and thought that I would share with you just kind of to reflect. One, WTF, why would I even buy that? Two, who did I want to be? What was I thinking? And then three, these are just things that like, there's just no point. So in the category of who did I want to be, I thought was really interesting was that I have never been someone who wears a lot of makeup. I just don't. I never have been really good or really confident in my makeup application at all. And honestly, I didn't really start wearing like a lot of makeup, not a lot of makeup, but like foundation and concealer. I didn't start wearing that stuff until I was 37 years old. So for most of my life, I wore, lipstick, blush, and mascara, and that was pretty much my makeup routine. And then in my late 30s, I added foundation and concealer, and I think I started to add like bronzer. But I didn't really wear very much eyeshadow because I didn't know it at the time. I learned this, of course, when I was over 50, was that I have hooded eyes. So it was very difficult for me to wear eyeshadow, but I always wanted to be that girl that had like the beautiful eyeshadow. Like I wanted to be her. And then when I hit my 50s, I got married in my 50s, and I wanted my makeup to look really good. So I started to watch YouTube videos to learn how to do this, of course, and there are a ton of videos on that. And so I got really confident because I was like, oh, I have hooded eyes, and oh, this is what you do. And so I then took it to a whole nother level. Like, I became so excited about it that I started to buy all these eyeshadow palettes. And so I just want to show you here. I've got 9 palettes. Look at all these palettes. 9 palettes that I never used. It's really, I think, the fantasy of being that girl. But even when I learned how to do it and I could be that girl, I wasn't that girl. I didn't. So I purged, I got rid of this stuff, and some of them are just really, really, really beautiful. They're just not me. Like these colors, I just, you know, honestly, I really wouldn't wear this stuff. I just wouldn't do it. I don't know. This one, Palm Springs. I mean, the colors are really pretty, but it's just not something that I would do. And then this one, The Lion King. And I think I bought this was because Sir John, Beyonce's former makeup artist, did this one, and the colors are pretty beautiful, but again, not something that I would do. And yeah, I mean, just really interesting. Anyway, I am gonna stop pretending I am not that girl. My makeup routine takes me all of 5 minutes, and I'm happy with it. I'm just more concerned with having healthy skin over how to apply makeup to look like I have that look, I guess, is kind of what I've now gotten to. I've gotten to that place. The next thing that I found in my drawer, this is just some of them, but I had over 20 face masks. 20. I don't even, I have very sensitive skin, and I really can't put anything on my skin, and I can't just introduce new products because I forget what the technical term is, but I have a form of, it's called like skin, or it's like face dandruff. I know it sounds really gross, but basically what happens when my skin gets overloaded with too many new products, it starts to flake. And so I have to be very, very careful with what I put on my face. So I can't do masks, but I have so many masks. Like, this is a snail mask sheet. I actually like snail mucin. It's actually really good, so maybe I'll keep it, I don't know. But then I have some from Trader Joe's. I have some Tula. I have a bunch of other Korean masks, but I'm not going to use them, and they've been sitting in there for years, and they continue to sit there, so these have to go. The next thing that I found was this. We've all seen this Biore, these nose masks that are very gratifying, right? Because you peel them off your nose and then you can see all the gunk that's stuck there. But why would you do this? This hurts so much, and it rips the skin, literally rips the skin off your face. Yeah. Hi. In the category of WTF is, this really made me laugh. Okay, count them. 1, I don't know if you can see that. 2, 3. These are all skin peeling lotions. I couldn't even tell you why I bought these, what was happening at the time that I thought I would need them, let alone 3 different ones. This one, I can just feel like it has some of the lotion on the outside, or maybe it was just skin. Sounds kind of nasty, but I can feel like I did use this one. But honestly, it's like, I don't know if you can see that. It's like I'm gonna just put it on my skin and see what happens. But it is so weird that I would buy these things, and they've sat in my cupboard, my drawers for like years, and no more. So these go away. Then the next thing that in the category of I don't need this anymore, this is going to be a little TMI, but this, I'm not going to trash this company because they get very good reviews and lots of people have had success, but it's called Emuade Eye Max. I don't know if you can see that. But basically what this is it's for toenail fungus. And a few years ago, or several years ago, I used to be really big into getting manicures and pedicures. And I used to do it every other week religiously. And then all of a sudden, one day I started to notice that my toenails, both of my toenails, had like this white cloudiness to them. And first I thought it was because they were dry, because that was how I knew something was wrong, but in my mind I'm like, no, your toenails are just dry. And then I Googled it, and lo and behold, I actually had fungus, and that horrified me. So I started off by Googling, going onto Amazon, and this came up, and it gets a lot of great reviews. The issue with this for me is that you have to be diligent about applying it day and night, and I wasn't diligent. So I went to go see my podiatrist, and he said, he kind of like shook his head and said, very bad, very bad. He said, you can get a manicure and a pedicure because the tools that they use are stainless steel and they're sanitized, but what you should not do is use their nail polish. And he said that's because it's a breeding ground for fungus. And if you think about it, you're sharing that polish with hundreds of people. I know I'm sorry if I'm wrecking your pedicure, manicure situation, but he's right. I mean, I never really thought about it like that, but that's where I got it. And so he did this hot treatment. It's almost like a blow dryer, and then they just put it on your toes, and they raise the heat for as much as you can tolerate. Oh my God, it was so painful. I don't have a very high pain threshold, but it did work, and the fungus, it took about a year for that toenail to like cycle through and to get like a brand new toenail. Not that my toenail fell off, but in other words, for it to grow so that I could eventually cut off the last of the fungus, and that was a happy day. And ever since then, I'll go maybe twice a year to get a manicure and a pedicure just to get like cleaned up. And it feels good, right? I mean, who doesn't love to sit in those chairs and get massaged? But I don't, every time they ask me if I want like even a top coat, no. I don't do it. So I definitely don't need that anymore. So that goes away. So in that same camp, I also then, COVID, and I had just recovered from my nail fungus, and I still really like the idea of getting a manicure pedicure. So I went all out and decided, you know what, I'm gonna do my own gel mani-pedi. And so I got some of them I threw away, but I got like all of these nail polish, and they're really toxic, they're really strong. I got all these colors, all these gel nail polishes, and I invested in the UV light. And I also got the gloves that protect against UV rays. But in the past year, I really had no desire to do this. So it just doesn't, it's something, someone that I know that I am no longer. It's really hard to explain, but like, we all have an idea of who we are, who we want to be in terms of like our beauty routines, the way we dress, just who we are, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I am vain. I like to look good, but I feel like I've just become, I feel like I put more time into my self-care routines that are benefiting my body, my skin via my nutrition, my workouts, my dry brushing, my lymphatic massages. So I'll spend the time there. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't have the patience to spend with myself and putting on makeup, polishing my nails. And I'm not putting it down because, you know, there was a time when I loved to do that kind of stuff, but that's just not where I am anymore. And I think it's just really, it's really interesting, like the evolution, because I didn't start off that way. Even in my younger years, I just wasn't that person. That's not who I was. And then as I got older, I became that person, because I always kind of wanted to be that person. And now, as I've come over the other side, I feel like I'm reverting back to who I originally was, who I was, you know, and that's someone who really wasn't into all that kind of stuff. And it's just really interesting how we evolve that way. So this is not for me anymore. So that goes away. I have 3 more things that are, all of them are in the WTF. The first one, not as extreme, but this little pen here. Ooh, I got some of that gel, that peeling stuff. Looks like it's going into action. Maybe it'll start peeling. But I found this when I was cleaning my drawers out, and I don't even remember buying this. That's the thing that's really kind of scary about it. But it's called the Beauty Brow, and it's this stick, and then you turn it on, and then you take it, and then you kind of like clean up your brows, which I guess could be really handy. But here's the funny thing. My brows are microbladed. I mean, I have some brows, and I guess this could be handy, but I don't really have much maintenance to do on my brows anyway, so I don't even know why I would have bought this. I don't know. So that goes away. Now, in the area of WTF is this first one here. This is called the Beauty Mole Removal Sweet Spot Pen. And so I just told you that I have a low pain threshold. But I bought this thing because occasionally I'll get like these tags on my neck. And so I bought this pen, and it looks like this, and then you take these needles and you put these needles on it, and then you turn it on, and it's a hot pen, and you kind of like zap whatever you're trying to zap, and then you're basically burning skin. So like I have skin tags, and so essentially you're just burning them, and then they'll fall off. I used to go to the dermatologist to have this done on occasion, and it was really expensive. So I'm guessing that I probably thought, wow, Amazon is showing me that I could do this for like 20 bucks. I also went all out and bought the skin number cream on Amazon. And the funny thing about it is that I've never used it because I am totally afraid to do it. I don't like pain, and so I just haven't used it. So I don't even know why I did that. But anyhow, that is gonna go to someone I know who would love it. So that goes bye-bye. Then the last thing that I got is, I mean, I threw a lot of stuff away, but I just pulled some things that I thought were just like, questionable, or it was just interesting for me to see that I have just really have been changing and and I'm not going to use the word evolve, because the word evolve implies that like I'm somehow better, and I'm not. I've just changed. My ideas of what I should be or how I should look have really changed a lot. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I'm vain. I mean, I put makeup on, I curl my hair, I care about how I look. So it's not that. It's just that I'm just not that girl. I'm not the girl I used to be. I am just changing. So the last thing, which this is really WTF. So this is called, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. It's called a derma roll. And it looks like this. And this little blade here is detachable, and it comes with a couple of them, and then you can buy replacements. But basically what this is this little roller has these tiny little needles, and I can feel it. And what you do is you roll, but there's a very specific way to do it. And then you roll your skin, and then you roll. I forget, I think you're not supposed to do your neck. I don't remember, but I vaguely remember hearing that. But you roll, and basically what you're doing is you're piercing small little microscopic holes in your skin, and the idea is that by doing that, you puncture the skin, you wound the skin, and the skin's natural reaction is to turn over, to repair and turn over, and therefore producing collagen, which then makes your skin tighter, more elastic, all of those things. It basically makes your skin look really nice by the cell turnover. But it kind of hurts. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's painful, and it's not like you're bleeding, but you definitely will see your face will be red. It will be as red as if you put your face under like a sauna or a steam bath. It's very, very red, and you can kind of see where it's punctured. I mean, I did this for, I'd say for about 2 months, and then I realized that I don't think it's good to puncture your skin like that. I really started to think about it one day, and I thought, I'm just gonna stop doing that. So I did, but yet it still stayed in the drawer, and I don't know why, but this has gotta go. So that's gotta go. So I'm gonna end the video here, and I think that for me, this whole process has been really interesting. It's almost like I went through my own time capsule. There are things that I've kept for many, many years, maybe a decade, and there are things that I bought as little as a year ago. And it's been really interesting for me because I'm not that person. I feel like every so many years, maybe it's every 5 years, I go through phases where I completely change, like something in me shifts, and I feel like this has been a new shift for me. I know that it sounds like a cliche, but as I get older, I feel more confident about myself. Yeah, I look older, I have wrinkles, but I just really don't care. I really don't. I am so more focused right now on my health and what I put in my body and how I can make my body stronger and better than I am about wearing makeup or wearing all of the makeup that I started to wear when I started to enter my 50s. I just don't feel that. I love my skincare products, and the reason why I didn't have a lot of skincare products here was because I've never been one to spend a lot of money on skincare. I just don't do it. I don't believe in it. I know that good skin comes from a healthy diet, from exercise, and also from your mental health. I mean, when we're happy, we radiate. When we're sleeping, our skin looks better. So yeah, you can fake that stuff with makeup, but I think the real challenge is figuring out how to do it without makeup, right? I mean, that's really the challenge. And at the same time, if you're doing it without makeup, you're also just making yourself and your life a lot better. So that's kind of where my focus has been. It's really been about how to get my nutrition back on track and how to feel really good in my skin, because I'm not young anymore, and I really don't waste my time feeling sad about it. Like I feel like I look fine. I feel like I look okay for where I'm at. So I don't really spend a lot of time, you know, doing that, but definitely was a lot of fun looking at all this stuff and just kind of thinking about where I was, like, oh, you know, it's like when you clean out your closet and you find something, you're like, oh, what is that? When did I buy this and what point in time? That's kind of how this was. It's like, oh, right, I was going through this or was going through that. So it was kind of like the trip down memory lane, and also just letting go, you know, like let it go. If you haven't used it, you're never gonna use it. I mean, these are things that have been sitting around forever. I am happy to put 5 products on my face every day in the morning, and I'm good with that, and that's all that I need to do. So anyhow, I'm not going to show you what my closets look like, that they're organized, because they're not necessarily organized. That's not the intent of the video. It wasn't to show you that, like, look what I did, now I'm super organized and you're not. But no, I'm kidding. It was really just to kind of show. It really got me thinking a lot about, you know, beauty and the beauty products we buy, and the big question, right? What do I need from it? What do I really want? That's really ultimately the question. So ask yourself, what do you really want? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.